An important concept to add in our understanding of toxic othering is the idea of false consciousness. This is an idea that was originated by Karl Marx, but has been used in various contexts in very powerful ways by many sociologists. False consciousness is the idea that those who are marginalized, those who are ascribed a status which is low, can come to believe that it is just, that it is proper, that it is reasonable that they have that lower status. They believe that they are inferior to the person that defines them as being inferior. And so false consciousness is when, for example, when women believe that they are inferior to men, when women believe that they are not as smart or not as capable as men. Why would they believe that? Do you remember the agents of socialization? If all of the agents of socialization, either directly or indirectly, are telling young girls that they are inferior, then the young girls will tend to believe that they are inferior. And so false consciousness is a lack of an objective awareness of one's own potentials and abilities. And so if women believe themselves to be less, they are suffering from what we can call false consciousness. False consciousness can be addressed and can be reversed by education, awareness, and by support from allies. Support from, in this example, support from men who treat women as equals. And so when women by themselves see themselves as inferior, it's hard for them to act. But when they talk with other women and find out that other women feel the same, feel that they are being defined as inferior but really aren't, when they begin to realize that they have some allies among the men, false consciousness can transition into class consciousness, where women in general believe that, yes, we are equal, and we are going to begin to move for cultural changes that ensure that there are norms, laws, policies that treat women in a more equal basis. And so false consciousness is a common phenomena, but can be reversed by class consciousness. We've been talking about othering and toxic othering for a good number of classes now, and I want to point out something that is fairly obvious. What is obvious is that the line from othering to genocide, from normal othering to toxic othering, is fairly direct. Othering can lead to ethnocentrism, where one culture believes that it's superior to another culture. And this ethnocentrism can lead to racism, believing that the other culture is another race, is another kind of human. So ethnocentrism can lead to racism. And racism frequently, though perhaps not always, but racism frequently can lead to dehumanization and counter-anthropomorphization. That is, taking away the human qualities of someone, some other people, some other group, some other race or ethnic group. And so racism can lead to this taking away of the humanity of the other, can lead to dehumanization. And finally, dehumanization can lead to genocide. When you dehumanize another group, when you take away their humanity, it's as if you are just killing an animal or some subhuman entity. So dehumanization can lead to the justification for genocide. I will continue to argue that using the Hydra is an effective way to understand the history of the world in terms of all of the marginalizing forces, all of the privileging forces which create inequalities between For example, males and females, one culture and another, one ethnic group and another. All of this toxic othering can spiral down into dehumanization and to genocide, or at least to forms of slavery. And when you combine the toxic othering with the concept of false consciousness, this becomes a mixture where the people that are marginalized don't fight back because they believe that it is just that they are being marginalized. And so part of understanding the Hydra is understanding how there is a need to educate people to get them from false consciousness, believing that what is happening to them is right and just, get them to a point of class consciousness where they reject dehumanization and marginalization.